What's up, guys? It's Primetime Poulton, main event McNulty, La Pod Gods. We're talking WrestleMania today. Phil, are you excited?
I don't know half the card. So, but even when I took my breaks from wrestling, it never stopped me from watching WrestleMania. And not even this will make me, even the wrestling every day of the week won't make me miss WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's always exciting WrestleMania season, the surprises. Plus, they're in front of a live crowd for once. It'll be interesting to see how packed that they get it for the 2 nights of WrestleMania.
It's in Florida, so more than 75%.
Yeah, that should be incredible to watch. I'm excited for that. Have you watched any of the pre WrestleMania stuff, the Hall of Fame, NXT?
I started to watch NXT and I got bored with it and I turned on Impact and I got caught up on Impact. But there were some really standout matches on there. The Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole match, which I have no interest in whatsoever, was about 40 minutes long and it blew me away. It was
Yeah,
probably one of the best WWE matches in years. Um, and then the Jordan Devlin Santos Escobar match I watched because I love a good ladder match. Jordan Devlin shouldn't even be like licking Santos Escobar's boots. That dude right there, if I don't know how he is, again, I don't watch NXT that much. I don't know how he is on the mic, but he's got like this evil super villain luchador gimmick who has his own sort of um, sort of stable, which is really cool. And then there was something. Then the Finn Balor carrying cross match was fire. So those are about the matches I watched. I enjoyed it, but I watched Impact and I enjoyed that even more. So
yeah, it'll be nice to go back next week and do our normal Impact AEW talk. But I figured with WrestleMania, we definitely need to cover that. I did watch the Santos Escobar Jordan Devlin match. I had started to watch NXT night two, and Escobar's entrance with the mask and the scarf, he looked awesome.
that's what I said. I said, where's this dude been? Why
Yeah,
hasn't he been the highlight of the show? It could be, well, I mean, Andrade, who was recently released, has been talking all this shit, but Andrade never stood out in NXT. He was always just an ends to a mean to get the championship to somebody else.
yeah. Um, but he has former TNA talent Zima Ion as part of his like crew, so I thought that was pretty awesome. A lot of TNA guys are in NXT or have made their way through NXT recently.
Did you see this week's recent episode of AEW?
I have not yet.
Oh man, what they're doing to Ethan Page.
Yeah,
Oh my god, back to being a it's alluding that it looks like he's gonna be back in a tag team. So he
yeah,
jumped so remember what I said? Impact may be the best spot for him?
yeah,
Probably was.
yeah. No, I saw I saw like the little vignette with him and Scorpio Sky, and I was like, what? Why? What's the point of this?
Yeah, that's essentially it. That's essentially it. And then Lance Archer comes up and then you have those two going, whoa, 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 and like the bleacher seats,
Yeah.
it makes you wonder what they're doing with a talent like Ethan Page. A
So
talent.
I want to give a shout out to the people in the chat. We got Darren Wagner. What's up, Darren? He's Team McNulty.
Fantastic. Part of the main event misfits.
We got Amanda B. Oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Amanda says she hopes you're as fluent in sign language. She's watching on mute.
Um, there you go. Stone Cold hell yeah. I know that language.
Johnny Cage wants to know, is CM Punk back yet? No, no.
Johnny Cage, that is A, he's my favorite Mortal Kombat character to play as. And B, that's always my prediction. Anytime it's a surprise, I immediately go to CM Punk.
And Mo Biggs is in the chat. Hail Mo.
What up, Mo?
So it's time to talk WrestleMania 2 nights. First night is tomorrow. This has got to be the worst build to WrestleMania ever. I feel like most of these matches have been uh, just thrown together. There's one match that I feel like had a real build, and we'll get to that when as we cover the matches. But let's just dive into it. Night one,
Let's go.
The New Day defends the Raw Tag Team Championship against AJ Styles and the Giant Omos. Who do you got in this match, Phil?
I have the New Day because the New Day, but also because AJ Styles is just floundering, man. I remember when he came in with the Royal Rumble and that feud with John Cena, and it just made you want to root for the guy. And then the club joined him in his other bout against John Cena, and you're like, this is it. And he's just been floundering ever since. And he tried to make it like fighting for any title on WrestleMania was like the main event. But come on, dude. AJ Styles is just floundering. So I'm going to go with the New Day. You?
I love AJ Styles. I'm picking AJ and Omos. It'll be interesting to see this guy wrestle. I mean, he's the bouncer from Raw Underground.
Hey, I mean, it helps somebody's career.
Yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting pairing. I do like some of the chemistry AJ and Omos have, like AJ jumping into the arms of Omos and stuff like that. So I mean, it's a match with AJ Styles in it and Kofi Kingston in it. You know, it has to be pretty
People,
good.
they're gonna look like the match is gonna be awesome. Both men are gonna look like they killed each other in the ring because their selling ability is so good. But yeah, I'm excited.
We got Eddie Winkler in the chat. What's up, Eddie? He says, Slobber Knocker. What's up, guys and gals? Happy Friday. Happy Friday indeed. So, second match, Seth Rollins versus Cesaro. This one I feel like has just been kind of thrown together. But is it finally the time that they do something with Cesaro? I'm going with Cesaro on this one.
I'm going to agree. I think Seth Rollins. Here's the thing: Seth Rollins has effectively made himself so valuable that he can take losses and come out clean on the other end. So I think this is a nice thank you to Cesaro because Seth Rollins seems like the guy who really wants to help the other guys get up to there. So I'm gonna say this is Cesaro's WrestleMania moment, and we'll eventually get Seth Rollins doing some other gimmick because I love every time he's like the Chris Jericho of the WWE. Great in ring, great on the mic, and always changing character.
I can't talk. Seth Rollins is currently in his Rockstar Spud gimmick, wearing the the crazy suits all the time.
I'm all for it.
Eddie Winkler is going with Cesaro as well. What does Eddie says Seth has the job now because of popularity. Couldn't agree more with my man Phil. Man, Phil, you're becoming quite the cult hero of the pod gods.
The shirts will be coming. I'm gonna make a shirt. I'm gonna put it up on some t-shirt site, and we'll be ready to rock them. I got Darren and I've got Eddie. So when I get them done, just send me your mailing addresses, and I will personally send you Main Event Misfit shirts.
All right, Shane McMahon versus Braun Strowman. Why? Why is this a thing, Phil?
Because McMahon has to fight somebody at WrestleMania.
At least it's a cage match. Will Shane fall off the cage? Is that how he wins? He actually falls out of the cage and onto something?
Yes, exactly. No, honestly, he'll get chokeslammed off the top of it, and then Braun will come out and be like, "I almost killed him, and that for me is a victory. I wasn't looking for a win."
Oh man, before your head gets any bigger, Eddie Winkler says, hell yeah, PPP, Phil the Pod Prophet.
Next thing you know, gonna be showing up with a glove and a crazy ass suit, just steal Rollins' gimmick.
Man, so we got the moral compass and the Pod Prophet.
Yes.
All right. So here is the best built match of WrestleMania. Bad Bunny versus Miz. Have they changed it to Bad Bunny and Damian Priest versus Miz and Morrison, or is it just Bad Bunny versus Miz?
No, it's gonna be the tag team match.
Yeah,
They changed it up, but I'm all for Damian. Listen, if someone's getting a win, unfortunately my boy Morrison is taking the pin.
yeah,
But I think
absolutely.
that's why he's in this match, and I think Damian Priest is in this match so he can do his finisher to Morrison and then put Bad Bunny on top.
Yeah, I will say this: Miz already won this feud once he started posting pictures of Maurice outside his mansion.
The whole, this is, there have actually been, like, we genuinely mean this is probably the one of the best built up matches besides this one and the Roman Edge Daniel Bryan match. This is legit probably the second best match that's been built.
Yeah, no doubt. Eddie says he loves Shane, but he doesn't want to see him die. Braun has nothing else to do. Yeah, Braun Strowman's been, I don't know. He's just kind of like you said, AJ Styles is floundering. It could be worse. AJ could be in a feud with Shane McMahon.
Yes, we never know what's gonna happen when it comes to, Braun Strowman. He's good, he's bad, he's got train music. Did you notice that they added that Strowman Express gimmick for like 2 seconds, and then they're just
Yeah.
like, you know what? Let's just have him. Shave his head.
Johnny Cage says, when your best storyline has Bad Bunny in it, you know you messed up. I think like the Bad Bunny T-shirts all sold out of WWE shop though, so I don't know. He has an audience. It's not me. Phil, are you a Bad Bunny fan?
I don't know who Bad Bunny is, but apparently my students love him. Like
Yeah.
when they're asking me, have I seen Bad Bunny on Raw? And I'm just like, yeah. What do you mean? Well, because mainly the students I speak are mainly Spanish. That
Mhm.
they love him and they love wrestling. So it's getting eyes on the product.
Yeah, shout out to Bad Bunny. He has a song called Booker T, so he must be a wrestling fan.
Did you see when they brought Booker T out for like his live performance and Booker T just stood there and did nothing?
Oh yeah, he was all dressed up in his old GI Bro gimmick. I loved it. Booker T looks like he could still go. I wouldn't mess with him.
I watched the other day Jericho win the Undisputed Championship. So I watched him
Hmm.
against The Rock. And I said, man, will it ever get to that feel again? Like I was taken back to that moment and just the fans going crazy. And it was really the turn of like half of them were rooting for Jericho, half of them were rooting for The Rock. And I'm like, man, this is when Jericho went from mid-Carter to main event and took the main event to GOAT. But it just doesn't have that feel sometimes as much. I think only AEW wrestlers really give me that feel.
Yeah. Amanda says they make wrestling entertaining enough, but Moral Compass could always use some watch hours. Are you hoping to get monetized, Moral Compass? If it happens, it happens. It's not something I'm actually like pushing for. I'm busy enough making comics, so I don't know about YouTube becoming a job for me. But hey, if it happens, man, I'll take some extra money. Uh, let's see. Mo Biggs, Moral Compass's dismissal of Weebgate with strong power play to assure monetization. I respect it. Yeah, come, don't get me started on Weebgate. Johnny Cage, they'll just have Brian take the pin so both Edge and Roman can look strong.
Don't steal my prediction yet, Johnny Cage, because that's exactly the reason why he's in this match. And we'll get further into that along there. But this is the time I would actually agree that Roman needs to get that pin. Would I like it to be Edge after a spear? I think so. But I think Brian is there to take the pin. But we'll get to that in a bit.
Eddie Winkler's wife loves Bad Bunny. So
Hey,
Latina, yeah.
Bad Bunny is. I wish wrestling could go back to be that mainstream. Remember, it was them getting wrestlers on their show to get eyes on the product. I remember Regis, Stone Cold appeared on Regis for like the WWF cookbook. And now it's like, oh, we got to have Regis on our show. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Even though Regis is dead, but.
Eddie Winkler loves Booker T, and he loves Harlem Heat even more. Darren says there's no business like Mo business. That's right. That's why you hail Mo Biggs. And Eddie says, let it happen, Mark. Every little bit helps. Yeah, if it happens, it happens. So we'll see. Next up, what do we got? Nothing's going to top the Bad Bunny match. That's the best built one. But we got SmackDown Women's Championship. Sasha Banks defends against Bianca Belair. A lot of people are pushing for this to be the main event of night one. I honestly could care less. Sasha Banks, the biggest disappointment on the Primetime Inc. Fantasy team.
She was the only way I was able to catch up. Now that I'm officially like 40 points down, like I'm getting blown away. So I cannot wait for this WrestleMania to end so we can do our new draft episode. But man, she was the only reason that got me that lead. Her losing those points to those tap outs and losing those titles. Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, no, her and Bailey, they were my first cuts. They were killing me early on, and you know, I had a little hiccup early on, but I righted my path, and you know, I'm up. I don't want to say I have it in the bag, but I think I'm up like 30 or 40 points with 2 days left in our season.
Yes, there's no coming back, so I can just watch and scout talent for our next draft show.
All right, so Sasha Banks defends against Bianca Belair. I'm smelling a new champion.
Yeah, the dirt sheets are telling you this will be the main event. We'll see. Vince will probably not have it that way. But I'm just going to go with Bianca Belair because why not?
Eddie says he's never liked Bianca as a character. Good wrestler, bad gimmick. I will say using her ponytail as a whip is kind of badass.
it's that I don't know if she wants to be face or heel.
Yeah.
And she tiptoes that line. And I mean, I would blame booking, but she's not consistent with her character. One time she's pumping iron because she's like, you too can be fit. And one moment she's pumping iron and saying, you can never look like this. And it's within like the same couple weeks. So no one, it's sort of like the Lex Express. They were trying to build this face, and we're all like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
I was 100% behind Lex Express because I was an NWA guy, so I was all on board on Lex Luger. But Lex Luger wasn't even on board with the Lex Express. That's why it got canned. Let's see. Darren Wagner says, "Hail Mo Biggs, hail Phil Main Event McNulty." The legend continues to grow.
I knew him win him over.
Eddie Winkler wants to know, how do I get in on the next Wrestle Draft? Eddie, you can be part of the fantasy league if you want to. I'll reach out to you with the details. We'll have a draft. All right. Next up, so we're both going with Bianca Belair. Mm-hmm. Finally, night one, WWE Championship, Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. Now, everyone was saying how great it was when Bobby Lashley won the championship. Hurt Business, best thing to happen to WWE this year, although they broke them up. But I feel like this match is just put together for Drew to get his win in front of a crowd.
That is it. The whole thing when COVID hit, Drew McIntyre put out a really heartfelt message and said, you know what? This was supposed to be a moment in front of the fans, and I missed it. I'm still going to enjoy Champion, but I can't wait to win this again in front of you. How many times do you think we're going to see that played during night one of WrestleMania? Probably on the pre-show, probably before the match. And Vince McMahon blew up the Hurt Business himself. Like Bobby Lashley and MVP and all of them were, and Shelton Benjamin, they were like, no, don't split us up. This is all just to have Drew win in front of a crowd.
Yeah. Personally, I think this is the wrong move. I thought there was a lot of money in the Hurt business.
Yeah, I think it's because we as wrestling fans start rooting for the heels. When the heels have a good gimmick and they're not mamby-pamby, we root for them. If they broke up the Hurt business, I think maybe Vince was like, the pop's got to be bigger, and we wouldn't want to cheer the Hurt business because we got to get Drew over, and that could be another reason why they broke him up. But I think Vince is just a crazy old man.
Yeah, Johnny Cage says they knew the Hurt business would get cheers, and they didn't want that.
Johnny, same mindset. That's exactly right. The WWE consistently finds a way to shoot themselves in the foot over and over.
Yeah. Mo Big says, but the Lex Express was allegedly destined for success. Vince was all in on Lex Luger. He wanted Lex to be the face of WWF, and Lex he was too good for the tour bus. He didn't want to ride the tour bus all across the country. So he soured his attitude basically soured everyone that was behind him. So the Lex Express thing got pulled. I'm pretty sure Lex was supposed to win the belt at SummerSlam that year, and instead he wins, but he wins by countout. So, big disappointment. Always a fan of Lex Luger, but more of an NWA Lex Luger fan. Yeah, the torture rack, that was his. He didn't do the torture rack in WWF. Could you imagine him trying to get Yokozuna up on his shoulders?
Oh, jeez. So is that it for night one?
Yeah, that's it for night one.
How many hours is it supposed to be? Is it like supposed to be 2 hours each night, or is it? Because that seems like a fast, short card.
Yeah, I have a feeling it'll probably be like 2.5 hours.
Jeez, I'm all for it. Why not?
Yeah. Mo Big says it probably didn't help that Lex had about as much charisma as PTP. Is that primetime Poulton, or is that that's harsh if it is. Eddie Winkler, WCW. Yep, that's my favorite company of all time. Let's move on to night two.
Here we go. Let's rock it. I think I have more investment in night two than I do night one.
Yeah, it feels like that's more of I guess that's the SmackDown night, pretty much.
Hey, it probably reaffirms why I'm more interested in it.
Yeah, so United States Championship match, Matt Riddle defends against Sheamus.
Did you see Riddle forget his lines on Raw?
Did he like forget it and walk off or whatever?
Yeah. He rolled in on a scooter. It was a hey man, hey, right? And Oscar was just like, oh, okay, right. And he goes, I forget my lines. And then he just scoots away, and Oscar just laughs her ass off because she was just like, I have no control.
Yeah, I didn't see. I heard about it. Oh, Mo Big says he didn't mean primetime Poulton. He meant Patrick T. Parnell, good artist, boring streamer. Okay, that's fine. But yes, so I heard about the Matt Riddle flub, but I'm going with Riddle to win this and keep the U.S. title.
I'm gonna go with Sheamus because I think Vince McMahon thinks Riddle, even before the stumble, was an idiot, and Sheamus, friend of the Prophet. So I will always pick Sheamus to win a title. So I hope my boy Sheamus wins it.
Johnny Cage says if Vince wants to control crowd reaction so bad, he should just keep the Thunderdome forever. I'm really looking forward to seeing fans at a wrestling event. So I'm getting a little sick of Thunderdome. When Thunderdome first appeared, I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. Now I'm just like, who cares? But maybe it's the product. I don't know. Maybe it's.
I think it's a bit half and half because I think AEW, when they started out with the wrestlers, it was cool, and then WWE was like, let's have wrestlers, and they were just banging on the glass, so it didn't feel as organic. And then we put on the Thunderdome, and it was okay. but they took away a lot of the fun. Like when you would see Kenny Omega's face pop up there or Chris Benoit's face pop up there, it kind of killed the fun that people were having with it. So no pun intended.
Yeah.
But and then you just realize then they're all just yay, yay, and they're controlling it, and then there's no genuine reaction, and then it doesn't keep you invested in the product.
Eddie's giving away some draft strategy. He's just going to draft everyone he hates. They always get the push. So my strategy was no secret really. I just drafted a ton of Impact guys because they always wrestle.
And they show up on a pay-per-view like every other week. So you have the pay-per-view points.
Oh, and shout out to my secret weapon, Colt Cabana, who has like run off 3 straight wins on Dark every week.
The only people who kept me in this race was Team Taz, because Ricky Starks and Brian Cage are the AEW Dark MVPs.
Yeah. Surprisingly, my worst performer was my number 1 draft pick. My favorite wrestler. He was my number 2 draft pick, Eddie Edwards. Impact has no love for Eddie Edwards.
Oh, wait till you see this week's Impact.
Oh, really?
It's so good. You know the main event of Impact last night, right?
Was that the 6-man?
Yeah, and when you see Kenny Omega, right, and when you see Kenny and Eddie lock up, you're just like, this is what I want to see. Those two have some good chemistry. Oh, such a great match.
No, I'm gonna go watch it right after this. Johnny Cage says, "Can you imagine the crowd reactions to that Alexa versus Orton match? It would be the biggest heckle ever." Yeah. All right. Next up, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn with Logan Paul in his corner. You know what? I'm going with Sami Zayn with the assist to Logan Paul.
You know what's gonna happen? They're gonna pull a Tyson with Austin and Triple H. Austin and Michaels. Like you're gonna have
Logan Paul's gonna turn.
Logan Paul's gonna deck Sami, and he's gonna take off the shirt, and it'll be like a KO Mania shirt, and that's how it's gonna end.
Oh man, I could see that. All right, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that happening. All right, Intercontinental Championship match. Big E defending against Apollo Crews. I love Apollo's new gimmick. This is the most personality he's ever shown, but he's still not winning. Big E seems like the future right now.
Big E cuts these promos each week, and he's getting up the star territory. Like, and I'm just not talking like wrestling star territory. Like, I'm full on expecting someone to hire him for a TV show. Like, he's that good of an actor, and he's that charismatic that the ship is starting to sail on Big E's wrestling career, maybe. So yeah. I think he's the next opponent for Roman.
Darren Wagner, he has to take care of some stuff. Thanks for hanging with us, Darren. We'll see you later. Eddie says, don't want to see Paul or Zayn anymore. Yeah, Sami Zayn has kind of grown old. His act, it's a shame. Like, when they paired up Owens and Zayn as heels, I was like, oh, this is finally something for Sami Zayn. And then I don't know.
they book themselves ass backwards all the time. Like, it should have been Sammy the face and KO the heel. And for some gosh darn reason, they want to put KO as a face. KO has never been better than when he turned on Chris Jericho to prove the shit friend that he is.
Yeah.
So let's keep it that way, and let's actually have the role reversal. But again, I don't want to see these two fight anymore.
All right. Next up, The Fiend versus Randy Orton. So the Fiend's going to win this, I think. He's finally going to get his WrestleMania win. But have they ruined the Fiend character? They ruin everything that Bray Wyatt does. Like the Fiend is already like ridiculous.
The moment he got speared by Goldberg was the moment the Fiend died, right?
Yeah.
And then the Fiend continued to die a terrible death against Braun Strowman when I don't know if Strowman looked like he drowned at the horror show. Or
Yeah.
was it the Fiend? I don't remember. Someone drowned. It was stupid.
Yeah, it was
Now,
Braun.
yeah, it was Braun. And now we have the rehash of Orton. Like, remember we were laughing our asses off when they projected the
The
maggots.
worms and stuff, yeah.
The only way this works is if Bo Dallas is revealed underneath the burnt Fiend.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And then I'd be like, all right, let's see what happens here. Because this Joker Harley thing is just not working.
Yeah.
It's just not working. And this Alexa Bliss probably needs some time off too, just to refresh her character.
Eddie says, get rid of the Fiend. And Mark said exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, great minds think alike. But yeah, no, I would love for him to do something with Bo Dallas. The last I heard, he's like living out on a farm with Liv Morgan.
Can we talk about these brothers here? How do they get Liv Morgan and JoJo? You know, I just think it shows that personality will get you somewhere.
Yeah, no, I want to see Mrs. IRS because see if they're chips off the old block or what.
It's true.
All right. Raw Women's Championship, Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Does anyone think Asuka's going to retain?
Maybe if Charlotte interferes.
Oh, God.
Because if Charlotte comes out and it's a three-way and she wins, poor Rhea Ripley
Yeah.
will have her legs will have been cut off her before she even gets to stand on the main roster.
Eddie says, off topic, but remember when Shield versus Wyatt family pay-per-view? That was great modern day wrestling. Absolutely. That was fantastic.
Think about that. Think about who was in that.
Yeah. Just them facing off against each other, lining up. The crowd was already chanting, "This is awesome!" Yeah, and at a time where they built two factions up, like from the ground up,
Mm-hmm.
There hasn't been anything like it since then.
Right, because now it's the opposite. If you take a look at AEW, everybody's a faction.
Yeah,
So that
it's
was
gang. It's like Attitude Era gang warfare.
Yes, it's like that Batman series when each like Batman villain had their own little land in Gotham, and
Oh
then you
yeah.
didn't cross that turf.
Oh yeah. No Man's Land.
No Man's Land. That's it.
All right. I think we're almost done. There's only the Universal Championship match. Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan worked his way into this match. I'm happy Daniel Bryan's getting another main event. I would assume this is the last match of the night. You know, everyone seems to think Daniel Bryan's there to take the pinfall. Is there any chance Daniel Bryan walks away with the belt?
No.
No.
No. In fact, this is going to lead to Edge versus Daniel Bryan singles match with no title on the line. This has been such a good build. Edge's promos have been so good. When he said in one promo, I looked at myself since I've returned. I've watched myself. He goes, and then I just took a look at myself in the mirror and said, I'm the rated R superstar. And it made you realize, oh, this is so perfect for Edge. And He feels like, and Daniel Bryan, they're trying to make that moment when he got in there with Batista and Orton. So Daniel Bryan, but I don't see the happy ending this time. I see Roman winning this match. I see Edge blaming Daniel Bryan for losing the match, essentially saying it should have been 1-on-1 with Roman and I would have won. And I think Big E gets put in the main event spot. So I think a lot of storylines are going to come out of this match, and it is the best built match by far and away because when SmackDown's on,
Better than Bad Bunny versus Miz.
better than Bad Bunny. Hey, you've got. Think about the promos you're getting. You're getting them from Paul Heyman. You're getting
Yeah.
them from Edge, and you're getting them from Daniel Bryan, and you're getting them from Roman, who has done phenomenal mic work since he's had this head of the table gimmick. So
Uh, Johnny Cage says, "Too bad Bray couldn't get many W's during the Wyatt family thing." Yeah, it doesn't. It's a head scratcher. It doesn't make any sense. He was primed to be the man, and yeah, they dropped the ball, but they seem to drop the ball on a lot of people that the fans think are like no brainers. So not surprising.
it's just written so poorly. There's no long term storytelling at all.
Yeah, Eddie Winkler agrees. He still drew a crowd. Could have used more wins.
Well, when you beat a guy down enough, you don't care for them anymore. Like you just realize like you don't want to get emotionally invested in this character because you know the end result's going to be a loss. So I like we said, we know the matches are predetermined, but they gotta, they fail to see, the forest from the trees so many times. It's different with AEW and Impact. I think the reason why I enjoy those shows so much is because they build long form stories. Like JR every couple weeks will add in a when Hangman Page wins a match. Up, Hangman's the number one contender. It's going to be sooner rather than later he gets that title shot. They keep that in the back of our minds. Like we are building that up to their
Yeah,
next main event, right? We get these little hints of the Bucks. The Bucks storyline has been so good. Where do they lie? And then they came out to help John Moxley this week, and you sort of see what happens with the Bucks on this week's AEW. Like their storytelling, and they know when to push a guy. Like you'd think Omega they'd be like, oh yeah, let's just give him the losses and whatnot. No, he's getting more over by getting those wins. Like that's what happens. Now you get emotionally invested in someone, and even if they're a heel, you're just like, damn that guy, he always wins. That's how wrestling's supposed to be. And somehow along the lines of WWE forgot about that after the ruthless aggression era. It seems like as soon as Cena hit that peak, it was nobody beats Cena and everybody loses.
yeah. Eddie says, "Am I the only one that could use a little less Brian?" I actually liked Brian working with like the lower card talent. Like I loved when Drew Gulak was like coaching him, and I also loved when he was working with Gable and Otis as sort of this like Fight Club type group. Honestly, I thought Gulak should have been part of it, and that you could have another faction like the the Wrestle Club or something.
It's weird because they give these guys pushes and then they stop. Like Otis, like why do they break up Heavy Machinery for both of them to fade into nothingness? Like
Yeah.
just keep your tag team. It's because Vince hates. I know that answer because Vince hates tag team wrestling. He's been on the record that he hates tag team wrestling, but he made so much money with tag team wrestling in the Attitude Era, and AEW's and Impact is so good because their tag teams are built as their undercard and midcard, so you don't ever get bored with it. Like you watch singles matches and then a tag team match comes in, and you're like, all right, that's good, and that hypes you for the main event. The WWE, the Street Profits, my God, have not been on television, have not wrestled since they lost the belt like over 3 months ago.
Yeah, I was going to say that there's a lot of people not on either night of WrestleMania. You got the Street Profits, you got Ziggler and Root, who are the SmackDown Tag Champions. Bailey, it's pretty crazy.
they just don't know what to do. So it's crazy. We can't, for the millions of eyes that get on their product. You think they do something entertaining? They just need something to make their product cool again, because the other two companies, I mean, as much as NXT got beat AEW by 100,000 this week, it was their pay-per-view they put on there, for crying out loud.
Yeah. Eddie Winkler has to go. See y'all in Leroy's tonight. Have a great weekend, everyone. Yeah, thanks for joining us, Eddie, and congratulations. His book came in, so yeah, it'll be awesome to get it. I actually have a digital copy that I'm gonna read this weekend. So that does it for WrestleMania nights 1 and 2. Seems a little lackluster. Do you think there's going to be any surprises?
No, I
No.
honestly don't think they know what they're doing. And this WrestleMania, as they're trying to repeat WrestleMania from the Performance Center last year. And once we
Yeah.
get, instead of Asuka, instead of Charlotte, it's Asuka, right? Instead of um, Brock, it's Bobby Lashley. It's the same. I feel like I've seen it last year, and it's supposed to be at the same place it was last year. So this just feels like a redo of last year's to get this to the next WrestleMania in LA next year.
Yeah, the one good thing from last year though was that Boneyard match between AJ and Undertaker.
You're
That
right.
was pretty awesome.
You're right. That was a good one.
Yeah. So that does it for WWE. Impact actually has a pay-per-view Sunday. They're gonna go on at 3 p.m. right before WrestleMania. Hardcore Justice, booked by Tommy Dreamer. I don't think any of the matches have been released except for Deonna Purrazzo is defending the women's championship against Jazz, and then there's like a 6-way women's match for number one contender. So it doesn't seem like it's the strongest strongest card going into that pay-per-view.
Yeah,
It's kind of a throwaway until their Rebellion, which is also I think it's also this month.
yeah. Rebellion, I believe, is the 25th. It's one of
Yeah,
those pay-per-views where I will go out and I will buy it and I will watch it, um,
yeah.
because that Kenny Omega Rich Swann match is gonna. I want to see just Kenny Omega win the title. It's not as
Uh
much as the match is gonna be good, because in that match last night Willie with Willie Mack and Eddie Edwards and Rich Swann, the person who felt the most left out was your champion, right?
yeah.
Because Willie Mack's doing crazy shit a man his size shouldn't be able to do. Eddie Edwards is telling a fantastic story, and then Rich Swann misses a Phoenix splash, and you're just like, oh no.
All right. So before we go, Phil, I would just like to share Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch. We're currently in demand, and we are so close to $24,000. I actually had like a couple refunds recently, so we're a little further away from 24,000 than we were yesterday. But make sure you get that Dan Fraga variant cover. That cover is absolutely gorgeous. Drawn by Dan, inked by Shelby Robertson, and colored by Matt Yackey. That's the entire Black Flag team. So they absolutely kicked ass on it. If you missed out on book one, we have a reprint featuring a black and white line art variant cover by John Malin. There's still some colored copies from the first campaign available as add-ons at checkout. So make sure you check them out too. And I recommend the best buy is the $200 Babe box. It comes with everything Sea Dog and Codename Kill Switch Clint and I have done. All three covers to book one, both covers to book two. Um, all the trading cards, the prints, the ash cans. Speaking of ash cans, we unlocked the Viking Wolf preview ash can for all backers. And we also added a Sea Dog pop socket to the box. So you get a ton of stuff, plus original sketches from me and Clint. So make sure you check it out. Speaking of which, I'm going to have to get started on my sketches. I got like 25 or 26 to do. But I just wanted to share that one last time before we sign off. Phil, where can people find you at?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Animated Phil. I will be posting probably sometime this weekend. My link to my Etsy shop on Instagram, probably put in my bio, but it's etsy.com/shop/art of Philip McNulty.
I have it in the description. So,
Oh, look at that.
yeah, definitely check it out. I want to thank everyone in the chat: Johnny Cage, Eddie Winkler, Amanda B, Darren, Mo Biggs. Did I forget anyone?
We got Eddie, we got Darren, right? We got Johnny Cage, we got
Yep.
Mo. So, and then we got Amanda B.
I think
So
that's the crew.
that is. Thank you
Oh,
so much.
I missed Billy Basco was there. He said I could care less about wrestling, but I can't quit the Poulton. Thank you, Billy. Thanks for joining us, man. I'm sorry I missed you earlier. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll be back next week talking our normal Impact and AEW. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at I almost said at AEW at Cody Waves. Make sure you subscribe and hit notifications on Primetime Poulton. And again, check out Sea Dog, check out Graveyard Shift, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.